VIZAG, a picturesque fisherman's village situated by the coastline, in the center of Eastern Naval Command. The City of Destiny welcomes the SYA students to cherish its beauty and the age-old culture.
As Martin Fisher once said, "All world is a laboratory to the inquiring mind." This is truly recognized by 40-year-old US-based organization, SYA. School Year Abroad encourages students to explore new spheres of learning by transforming the world into a classroom. Spain, France, Italy, and China are the other SYA centers where students have been sent earlier. After 16 years of exploration around the world, SYA finally chose to be in India. Now I'm sure it's quite intriguing to know how Visakhapatnam became chosen to be the destination.
They extend to Visakhapatnam, to Andhra Pradesh, and then to the nation of India. And I've always believed that the classroom is not the central focus of education. And these two subjects, environmental science and economics, are key, I think, to understanding the development of a country like India. And I don't want those subjects to be locked to a textbook and a classroom. I want them to understand economic theory, but then get out into India and see what does that mean on the ground here with the influx of multinational companies like HSBC, and also with microfinancing projects for poor peoples in the hills. They need to understand how economics works.
Let's hear about how it all happened from Director of SYA, Mrs. Jayshree Hatangadi.
I believe India was really the hot spot that SYA was looking for in terms of education. SYA makes sure that it's a world exposure for US students to come out of their home and come and see the rest of the world. Education, as they believe, is not in classrooms, but from everything else around. And understanding the world, what better way than to come out and actually feel, stay, understand, observe, comprehend, and ultimately go back with a huge package of memories.
The central elements of SYA are the homestay and a compact academic program which emphasizes on acquiring a foreign language. Now India, Visakhapatnam in particular, needs to ensure that these students go home with the real mastery of a second language. At the same time, instructors from the United States schools guarantee that they do not lose ground in their core American courses, math and English.
A program whose intent is to get American students to become familiar and comfortable with other areas of the world through experiential learning.
School Year Abroad is the only secondary program which allows students to live in a European, Chinese, or Indian family for an entire academic year, while earning their US graduation credits and preparing for selective US colleges and universities. Every year, each one of the schools in China, France, Italy, and Spain enroll approximately 60 students to complete their junior or senior year of high school. These students come from public and private schools from all across the United States.
When we Indians are making a line towards America, why can't they make a line towards India, and that to VIZAG? So I said, fine, we are in the line. It was quite a pleasant surprise when it was known that Vishaka Valley is finally chosen.
Gurur Devo Mahesh
We're gathered here today to express our excitement for the inaugural session of SYA India, as well as our appreciation for our teachers, as each one of you are our teachers, as you're so generously sharing not only your campus with us, but your culture as well.
We look forward to the coming months we will spend at your beautiful school and hope that you are not shy in approaching us because we are very interested in getting to know you. Our host families have already taught us so much, but we know there is much more to learn, and we are excited to study and grow by sharing stories and experiences with you. So thank you, Vishaka Valley School, for this invaluable privilege you have allowed us, and on behalf of SYA India, Namaste.
In its inaugural year, 2008-2009, SYA India will start with approximately 24 students, with only the first semesters in 11th, 12th, and PG grades. However, the plan is to accept students for a complete course in their second year, in the year to come.
I really enjoyed my experience here. Everybody's been so welcoming, and it's just been incredible. I mean, I was very hesitant at first, like coming into the experience, and it took a few days to adjust, but I feel like now things are really going really well. I just love it here. I could see myself spending a long time here.
What a wonderful start to school year abroad. The children enjoy every bit of this wonderful learning experience.
I'm Quinn from SYA India, and the first thing that really struck me about India was how welcoming our host families were. They took us in right away. They wanted to make sure we all had enough food, sometimes too much food, but they were very loving.
My host mother in particular, we've talked about a lot of things from politics to environmental issues to the economy, and we've been able to bridge a lot of gaps, I think, between America and India, and been able to overcome a lot of potential misunderstandings between the two cultures.
This new program will introduce students to economic and environmental science. They're here to study the important disciplines and explore the human challenges which they almost never encounter.
Yeah, it's a learning experience for the children as well as for us.
मेरा नाम इज़ाबेल है. धन्यवाद.
Here's a glance of the Hindi's lecturer's voice teaching the students.
The SYA students will live the culture of India in a host family, learn one of Hindi's scores of languages, Hindi, which is the third most spoken language in the world. They would also work to acquire the intellectual tools to understand how economics develop.
We are reading Indian authors whom we could certainly just as well be reading back in Massachusetts, but the fact that we are here in India reading Tagore, reading Banerjee, reading Salman Rushdie, reading R.K. Narayan, who is one of my favorites.
The curriculum will include English, math, Hindi, and Indian history.
They are in search of new ideas, knowledge, and they are thirsty for the knowledge. So what I am trying to give is my best possible efforts I'm putting forward in front of them.
In addition to AP level courses in global economics and environmental sciences, tutoring in Spanish and French may also be offered.
I think it is the environment we had hoped for. I think it's the meeting the families the other day when we arrived. Yesterday we rode the buses home with the kids from the school for the first time. And I think at some point, I think yesterday when they went to the school, they realized that it is school and that school will be a big part of this, but also I think they've gotten the right balance that it's also about the families, it's also about experiencing life here.
VIZAG, short for Visakhapatnam, offers an appealing blend of traditional culture and vibrant climate. About 400 miles northeast of Hyderabad is the safe, beautiful setting of the Bay of Bengal. It is known as the City of Destiny and a bay of sun-kissed beaches. The city nestles between unspoiled hills, dotted with caves and ancient temples on the west, and beaches which stretched over 4 miles. The SYA course is designed not only to help students understand and study the language, but also to understand India and its history. The village of Sankaram, near Anakapalli, which is 38 kilometers from Visakhapatnam, is known for its 3rd and 4th century Buddhist sites. A unique feature of Bhojanakanda, which was excavated under the age of Alexander Rim in 1906, is that it shows all 3 phases of Buddhism. The main attraction here is the imposing figures of the Buddha, seated in a meditation and posture, and the stupa. The main stupa was first carved out of the rock, and then encased in bricks. Not only did they get to see the beautiful historic sites of Visakhapatnam, they also got to see the city and dine out. The most important feature of SYA is the homestay.
I love Indian culture, from the clothing to the food to just everything we see outside in our daily lives. It's all, I think, about as different as you can get from America.
Our host families take them in not as boarders, paid lodgers, but as additional members of the family.
Education doesn't end in school. It continues at home too. The host families have taken charge of the foreign students and treated them like their own children. Let's find out from the host parents what it feels like to have a foreign student at home.
It's a challenge for the child because it's a totally different environment from where they are staying and the way they're coming here.
School Year Abroad has placed its students with caring families since their first school, which opened in Spain in 1964. SYA in India would continue this important tradition for its students.
The concept of School Year Abroad, or SYA, started in the mid-60s to take American students at a high school age and put them into a situation with host families in different countries, mostly to learn that language and that culture of the country.
An initiative has taken place to educate the students about the agricultural state of Visakhapatnam in the rural areas of the district through a bit of community service. Araku is a nearby hill station that has kept the essence of nature intact, with its green hills and various tribes. Jayshree made the children of SYA realize the difference between the fast life of the city and the hard-working rural areas. The vast traditional differences were felt by the students, who thoroughly enjoyed their experience. Since Araku is home to various tribes, the children were taught about the importance of tribal agriculture. This initiative of community service gives the SYA students an opportunity to study the environment and to understand their living conditions.
Another group, of SYA students, along with the faculty, visited the magnificent Burra Caves. These age-old caves have fascinated one and all since time immemorial. But sadly, ever since Oroku became a tourist zone, these caves have become endangered. The students studied the caves and its surrounding areas and understood the concept of bauxite mining and its effects.
Unfortunately, the caves are not the only bauxite mining zones. The Kataki waterfalls, 10 kilometers away from the Burra Caves, are set in lush green hills of the valley, may also fall prey to the bauxite mining. Though the tribals are aware of this predicament, they watch helplessly, feeling powerless to save their homes. This bauxite mining may destroy the livelihood of many of these tribals and corrupt the beauty of this place. The SYA children learn about rural development process and lifestyles of these tribes as part of their environmental science. The overall learning methods help create an understanding of India and its rich heritage.
These are the areas where today we are trying to protect the environment, save the tribal people's rights, and maybe see resources have to be extracted. Resources also have to be preserved for posterity.
SYA provides students with a home away from home. For 40 years, School Year Abroad has been answering the call to educate young adults to become fluent in a second language, to become familiar with the beliefs and values of other cultures, and to equip them to meet the challenges of a global community. SYA enables students to achieve these goals through a carefully designed high school study abroad program that combines rigorous academics with a meaningful homestay experience. India provides a unique educational environment that brings together the high educational standards of top U.S. preparatory schools with the excitement of experimental learning. While the classroom is an important component of the SYA experience, immersion in the surrounding community is also an essential teaching tool. Every activity, from sharing a meal with the family to exploring a museum or enjoying a movie, from buying a train ticket to browsing the bookstores, is a valuable learning opportunity.